Welcome back. It is day 149 of a road to 2200. We're at 2033 and we found a 2128, which is insane. And looks like they have some actual games where they lost, so it's not an account that's just wins, wins, wins. So let's go ahead and play because it is kind of relative. No, it's not. What am I talking about? It's almost a year old. Anyways, we have a Sicilian on the board. Okay, we see e5. Interesting move. So that creates a hole here. So our plan's going to probably be revolved around this. But I think I want to play d3 first. Kind of, we're going to try and play f4, I think. Yeah, so they want to control this square, of course. I'm going to go f4. And we're going to go for our normal setup. They just develop. We're also going to just develop. We want to control this square, so probably going to play c3 next. Unless the knight jumps in. Well, even if the knight jumps in, I'll play c3. And we'll probably capture at some moments. We are threatening to take the pawn, so they're gonna have to defend it in some way. They defend it with the queen, which also means that they're threatening to take the pawn. I could probably take knight takes and then just develop my knight, or I could play c3. I could also push. I think capturing makes sense. We want to open up the f-file. Knight takes, and now I'm just going to castle. Use that open f-file. This doesn't really do anything because there's, an obvious pin. Now, this is a weakness. We want to go here. So I could do this, but I don't really want the knight to just capture. So maybe we're going to develop our bishop, try to take, and then play knight here, knight here. So they develop their bishop. I might play knight c3 first, and then take and play knight d5. That's kind of the idea that I'm going for. Okay, they stop that. But now I can capture and then go for bishop g4, trying to get rid of this. Well, no, we have to capture first. And then we're going to play bishop g4. And we're just trying to get the knight into d5. That's what I'm trying to do. They decide to take with the bishop. That makes some sense. Now let's develop our bishop here. Just want to take and play. Well, I guess if I take, they double their pawns. If they double their pawns, I'll be happy. I won't complain about that. I think that we have a very nice position, regardless of what happens here. So they just short castle. So if I take, they want to take with the pawn, but that seems just fine. So I'm going to capture, and then we'll just go queen g4 and put pressure on that the weak pawn there. I'm thinking is a good move. Also staring at the king. So you're going to have to defend this. Probably just rook over, I would assume. But now he's going to always be protecting this. So that's just another thing that he needs to be watching out for. And I can probably just play rook to f3 here. Like, that seems reasonable. You ever want to play back? That's fine. Maybe you go for some kind of queen here. That seems very slow. They didn't want me to tempo, but I didn't really want to play knight in anyways. Let's go here. We're threatening to take, and take. Yes, they get out of the pin. I could push my h pawn. If I get the pawn here, is there really any threats though? Not so much. I kind of want to bring my knight back now and go this way. Because the knight's never coming here, so there's no play. So let's play knight e2, try to go knight g3 and knight h5. It's a slow plan, but they can't move the bishop. And they have to protect the weak pawn. Yeah, I kind of imagined that they were going to play this at some moment, so I could ignore it. I think I might actually just ignore it. Here, if they ever give a check, I'll just move the king. If I go knight here, check, king h1, takes, knight here, they can start taking pawns, but I'm not really concerned, honestly. I'd just be a little bit more afraid if I were them. And if they take, I'm just going to capture back. Yeah, so they do go for check. So just king h1. They can capture the pawn. I'm not afraid. Because next move, I'm going to be playing knight h5. If you go here, you lose a piece. So it seems like they have themselves in kind of a pickle here. Although this rook can move now, so yeah. Okay, but now just knight h5. They defend that. So I take. They capture. Okay, so if I take, pawn takes. I guess I could play queen here. Is there any difference in which queen move I make? I could play queen here, threatening takes. No, that doesn't work. Queen here. Yeah, I wish this pawn was not protected by the queen. Here takes. Queen takes. Yeah, I think I go queen g4. Just queen g4 here. They cannot take because of back rank checkmate. I think they want to play here, though. But then I can sacrifice my rook, right? No, I was looking at checkmates there. Yeah, so they do play that move. Shoot. Okay, well, I'm going to capture. I'm going to be insanely careful here. One takes is probably the best move. I need to make room for my king. Yeah, pawn takes. I'm going to slide back and attack this pawn. And I'm going to try and push my pawn, I think. Once again, not really worrying about this. They cannot really take, because then here. But I got to be a little bit cautious of this pawn. For now, I can leave it be. Yeah, so they capture there. Do I take? No, push. I'm going to take back. Just while we have the chance. Then go queen all the way back, so they're protecting the pawn. Now I'm going to start pushing my h-pawn. I'm just going to keep pushing my h-pawn. I want to get here and then take. That's my goal. That is what I'm trying to play for. Rook here, I'm going to push. Oh. Yeah, but I can just capture this. Takes. I take here. The pawn's hit. That's kind of what they were going for, actually. So it takes. Queen check. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to try not to trade. Yeah, they want to really attack this. I need to protect it again. I wish they would push the pawn so I could take. So maybe we're going to play something like this. Just so weakening. Yeah, but this is always just protected now. I'm going to double and try to come in here. If I go here, do they have some kind of push? Let's try to get the rook in there. Okay, we got the rook in. The capture. Oh. 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 Shoot. Okay, I have to play this, I guess. Not good. Dang it. Okay, I'm getting outplayed. Pretty badly. It's not so clear, though. Here, I guess there's this. I'm going to take this. Let's go here. We're threatening checkmate. So you're going to have to protect it. And then we're just going to be annoying. Here, here. Then this. But then check. Okay, I guess they have that move. I have to take. But then there's just check, and I have to trade. Now I have to get behind the pawn. He can just take this because I can't actually capture the pawn. Yep. Dang. I'm still gonna try. But he can go here? Oh, he missed it. He did have king f2. I'm gonna go here. No, but now he just pushes. I want to get behind. I think he can go here, here. Okay. I guess that also works. You can just push the pawn. You can also just take now. I mean, everything is literally just winning. Just queens. This is a fork. I guess I shouldn't have gone there, but now it's just going to be an easy checkmate. GG. Okay, that sucks, but, you know, let's take a look at this. Opponent played with an 83, I played with the 78. We had an advantage throughout the entire game until we didn't. So this whole plan of, you know, trying to take control of that weakness was not good. Then we rerouted, just was not a good plan. And this was our first real mistake. We should have played h3, making a left. Because of that move. And then takes. And they're just winning. And then we get this. So we have a little bit of counterplay. What should we have done there? Queen takes a4. We should have took the pawn. I was not focused on this side of the board at all. I was only thinking about over here. Bad habit. And then this is a blunder. If we probably just take the pawn. Yeah, takes. I didn't want to trade everything, so okay, not that. But you get the point. And then we have this position where I try to get my rook in, and then they sacrifice the rook because takes, king takes, and we're just down 2 pawns. So, yeah. Then we just fight from a losing position, and there's nothing. Let's play another one. 2021. Playing d4. We're going to go d5. Queen's Gambit, so we're going to decline that. And play a6. The Jawinski. Now we capture. This is all theory. And we go b5. They put 2 pawns in the center. They're trying to hold on to this center, I guess. But I think I should be able to just play bishop b7. Eyeballing this, so maybe this at some moment, maybe not. Let's put more pressure here. If they ever push, we'll just play knight d5. I can also bring out my bishop, trying to pin, and I don't think they want a long castle. So they might just play bishop e2, trying to castle. But it might be slow. Bishop e2, bishop b4. If castles takes, and we take the pawn, probably with the bishop. So I think they need to be a little bit careful here. And we're already up a pawn, so I don't think they want me to win another one. If here, do I capture? Takes. Bishop takes, queen takes? No, because the rook will be hit. Opponent is 10 seconds away from auto-resigning. Okay, so we got a free win. Beautiful. We're up 2 elo. What the heck, man? So we were playing at 100%. My opponent was playing at 86. This is just all theory. I mean, this move, I'm not expecting this move. In this position, I expect, some kind of a4 in which you push, and then the knight, I believe, wherever it goes, normally they don't want to go back to the home square, so a lot of people will go here. You play bishop here, takes, and it's a position. This is what I know for theory. They have an isolated pawn. Yeah. Okay, well, let's play a third one, I guess. Found a 2022 e4. And we have another Sicilian, so bishop e2. Okay, my opponent's thinking. That's one thing, like when you're playing stuff like bishop e2, people will start thinking because they're like, I haven't studied this. Okay, so my opponent's going for this kind of system where they jump the knight in, they want to take the bishop. It's something that people do. It's not necessarily great because 1, 2, 3 moves to take. Now I'm going to play knight f3, kind of saying, hey, take the bishop, take the knight, or let me take and double your pawns, one of those two options. Most people here will just take the bishop because why else did you jump the knight in? And if the knight stays there for too long, yeah, okay. This is already kind of weird. So they're trying to strike in the center. So if I take, they're going to take back, obviously. If I were to take, pawn takes would create an isolated pawn, so queen takes. Knight takes, pawn takes here, queen comes out. I can come out with some tempo, but this pawn will be hanging, so we can't do that. So I'm thinking takes, and then maybe e5, just restricting the knight. It creates a hole on f6 or on f5, but this bishop's locked in the pawn chain right now, so I think this is probably a good option. Let's capture and just play e6 or e5. Oh, really? That was their plan. I'm not really too concerned about them taking. I can probably just castle. And then we're going to have an open file here if they take. And maybe they even want to play some g5 and attack me, but they've created some weakness, so they're threatening to take. I can now capture, and after, well, they're going to take with the knight, so let's not do that. Knight takes. It's an interesting position, to say the least. I could throw this check in too if I wanted. Because they are threatening to like take, queen takes. So maybe I go bishop g4, takes, queen takes. Some kind of rook e1, just lining up with the queen and this pawn. Maybe I do this. And now if they commit to pushing, go ahead. Yeah, they don't really want to do that. That's fair. But do they really want to castle long? I don't know. I might say a4. But maybe getting the knight. If I could get a knight here, that'd be so beautiful. I don't see a way to do it. Maybe I play queen e2. Because we need to protect this pawn though, right? Let's play queen e2 here. The bishop's not getting trapped. Like here, we always have this square. I can even go here and play some kind of g3. I don't think they ever want to take because that's just going to help my position. But I am threatening now to win a pawn with takes, knight takes, bishop takes here. So they got to be careful. And they don't want to be left with these double isolated pawns. Although if I do that, this pawn hangs as well. No, because it comes with check. So castles, so they're saying you can have the pawn. I'm going to take that pawn every day, all day. Knight takes, bishop takes. There's none of this because I take with check. They just develop? Really? I mean, probably just play knight d2, right? Trying to go here. The bishop kind of sucks. And like I said, I'm never worried about any rook coming in. I just need to activate my pieces. Okay, let's go knight b3. Just makes sense. And now I'm going to cement this in with an extra threat of bishop f4. But this might actually just look like I'm trying to hold on to the bishop and not get pinned. But bishop f4 is a huge threat, which just wins the game on the spot. So they move out of the way again. But I think bishop f4 just makes sense anyways. Yeah. Okay, but now let's start pushing our a pawn. You can take if you want. Probably push. Rather they go there. Yeah, that makes sense. I want to make sure this never becomes alive. The pawns are actually doing a good job, which is really unfortunate. I'd love to rook lift. But do I want to invest that? Probably not. Maybe bishop e5 takes, queen takes. I guess it's kind of a threat. I need to play a little accurate here. I guess I could play queen here. No. Well, I kind of want to attack though. Or maybe bishop d2. Let's go back with the bishop and attack this. Which allows them to just capture here. Smart. Smart play. That was so bad. So I just hung a pawn. So they're getting their pawn back. And probably a way better position. Because then this becomes pinned to my queen. Shoot. Yeah, so they do capture. So I guess I can't even play this. Dun, 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 dun. The knight is hanging. Where does the knight go? This is the only safe square. I guess I could capture. I don't want to play a move like this, but maybe I need to. I guess, I mean, I don't really see another way. I'm just going to have to argue that they just have double isolated pawns. If they want to take this, I wouldn't. Oh my gosh. But I can take the pawn, though. I can take here. Takes, 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 takes. And then these are going to be really weak. I maybe could have just rook lift as well. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, they come in, so there's an attack on the bishop. So the bishop's got to move. Probably have to go bishop here. I guess, but no check. Yeah, so they get the exchange, whatever. I'm not really concerned about losing exchanges, to be honest. Although I probably should be. Let's come back with our knight. Try to push. Maybe. I don't know. I can always take if I want. Then takes here. But I want to push this pawn. That's my source of counterplay. A5, A6. I want to have anything. That's how I'm going to do it. So bishop takes probably just here. I don't know how I ended up... Like, I had such a great position. We're going to have to learn from this one. You can take another pawn if you want, but... I'd be afraid of A5 here. If I were my opponent. Yeah, but now we're going to go A5. Like, obviously they want to win the pawn right away, but... I don't think you can really allow me to play A6. Like, obviously you can. I don't know if I would. You're going to go here. A6 takes... Yeah, but even that... Check here. Okay, let's go A6. I want to open up my rook. So we're going to capture with check first. Now I'm going to take this, obviously. I actually have rook takes here. And then a fork. So I can capture this. But there's not a fork afterwards. Oh, shoot. Oh. I did. Of course I did that. Okay, well I need to... Let's get the queen over here. Bishop here, and then what? This is protected. I'm close to getting mated. That's the problem. I don't have enough to attack. It doesn't really seem, do I? I need to make room. I guess they just go here, don't they? Well, I always have the bishop there. Oh, that's a problem, though. Yeah. Well, that was something I overlooked. I think I needed to play here. Yeah, but even if I go here, there's check to win the queen. And checkmate, actually. So the only thing I can do is go here, here, here. And then I just lose this. Okay, I guess I resign. Let's take a look at this. I think my opponent played a really good game. 75. I played with a 70. I had a completely winning position. It was +6. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So all this is good. It's fine. Obviously inaccuracies. Like, what are we supposed to do here? Probably just develop the knight. Yeah, develop your pieces, you dummy. Should I just capture? No, knight d2 is the top computer move. And then this is wrong. I have bishop. Yeah, it says just take. Rook takes. And then play knight f3, trying to go to this square. That makes sense. But okay. Oh, okay. So I was looking at the wrong thing. I was trying to go over this way, but I should have been looking for this square. And then we push here. Huge threat was bishop f4. Still really good. a4, and now bishop back. We just made a one-move blunder. We blundered the pawn. Like, it's as simple as that. We just played queen d2. Yeah, just queen d2 attacking the pawn again. You can't defend it. Well, I guess you can. You can't go here. Yeah, you just can't defend the pawn. Takes, takes, takes. And we can capture. And then, yeah, this was a whole problem. Like, it was so bad. We had to give up the exchange, which actually giving up the exchange is not bad here. Well, it was the only move, but what they did was not great. And then here we find the best move, a6. Takes, takes. And do we have a rook sack? Please, for the love of God, tell me that this is not the best move. Okay. Wait, that's what I did, isn't it? No, I took, which is not good. What are we supposed to play? Queen d3. Queen d3. Just trying to go for mate. Rook protects, but you just take it. What if the king runs? Well, then you can take with check if you want, like anything. So all we had to do is play queen d3. And then here, I don't know, I was trying to remove the defender of this fork, but after you take, there's no fork, you idiot. So that was just a huge oversight, and then this is game over. You have to play queen g1, takes, takes, and then there's this. So that was a huge miss, man. Just, I knew I was winning here. Just threaten this. You don't have to take the bishop. There's no... Shoot. But intuitively, it's like... It doesn't make sense to not take here. But this is so strong. Just opening up the A file. Okay, well... That's fine. We got a free win. We kind of deserved to lose anyways. It is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.